Welcome back, guys. So today we'll take a brief look at three different sets of armor with regards to their defensive capabilities. We'll test the Lynx armor, we'll test a standard set of gear which gives you mostly defensive benefits, and finally we'll test the Scout armor. So we'll be testing all of these three armors with respect to spies. As you know, spies are counted as troops. So whatever works here will work with troops, except the spy gear, of course, which is tailor-made for spies. And one thing you should know is that the Lynx gear is working. Even though you do not see the new stats reflected in your reports, Plarium has confirmed this as a bug, but they have also confirmed that the Lynx armor is working. And as you will see in the reports I share, the armor is actually working. So all of these equipment will have the exact same gems attached to them: legendary garnet, legendary tourmaline, and legendary ruby. So for my standard armor set, I have selected the bewitched helmet, the tyrant's armor, the jarl's bracers, the destroyer's boots, and the eastern bow. Of course, you can swap out a few of these items to the ones of your preference if you want to conduct these tests yourself. But this is the standard set that I have been using for defense and for traps back in the day. Even though with the current armor sets that have been introduced, these have become outdated. But this gives us a good baseline in order to see the effectiveness of the new armors. And as I said earlier, all of these pieces have the same three gems, that is garnet, tourmaline. Are going to be simple tests because we cannot see the stats for the Lynx armor in a report, so we cannot do a stats wise comparison of the different types of armor. But what I plan to do is that I'm going to reinforce one of my friends with about 100 stalkers and then use an alternate account to attack it with 1,000 stalkers. The disparity is because that my primary account has better statistics. So if I send 1,000 and if the attack happens with another 1,000, the stats won't be very accurate because the alternate castle will be very weak. But 100 to 1,000, we can get a pretty good idea about the effectiveness of these three armors. So the baseline will be provided by the standard set of equipment, followed by an attack or defense using the Scout armor. That will be followed by a defense using the Lynx armor. So the first test is going to be done using a standard equipment set, and I'm going to reinforce with 100 T1 stalkers, and the attacker is going to use 1,000, and let's see the result. So this is the result. While the attacker lost all their spies, in defense I lost 46 stalkers. So this is our baseline, and we use this to test the effectiveness of the other armors. So for our second test, we are going to use the Hounds Armor or the spy gear, and it's going to be done similar to the first test, where I will be reinforcing with 100 T1 spies and the attacker is going to be attacking with 1,000 T1 spies. So let's take a look at the result. So as you can see, the Scout armor is significantly better than the standard armor set that we used in terms of spy defense. So here we lost 36 of the T1 troops or the T1 spies that we used, while earlier we lost 46. For test number 3, we are going to use the Lynx armor, and it will be done similar to the earlier two, where I'll be using 100 T1 spies against the attacker who's going to be using 1,000, and let's take a look at the result. So as you can see, my losses are just 30 units in this particular instance, showing that the Lynx armor is the best at defense, even better than the Scout armor. So when you are trying for a defense, make sure that you use the Lynx armor always, even for spy traps or any other type of traps. The Lynx armor is far superior to the others, because if it is better than the Scout armor for Scout defense, then it's definitely better than other armors for defenses for other troops. So let's do another test, this time using the Scout armor, but for the amulets, instead of the Scout amulets, we are going to use the Lynx amulets. Let's take a look at the result. The parameters are the same as earlier. So you can see that I have lost 35 units. So it's better than using purely the Scout Armor, but it's not as good as using the Lynx Armor. So for our fifth and final test, we'll be using the Lynx Armor but with the Scout amulets. Let's take a look at the result. So in this particular instance, we have lost 31 units. So if you remember, when we used purely the Lynx Armor, our losses were 30. And when we used purely the Scout Armor, our losses were 36. So this falls something in between. And when we use the Scout Armor with the Lynx amulets, our losses were 35. So even this combination is significantly better than using just the Scout Armor itself. But still, the Lynx Armor alone is superior to all the other defensive armors at the moment. So in conclusion, we can see that the Lynx Armor is far superior to all other types of armors when it comes to defense. And I suspect that the Saracen Armor will have a similar effect when you consider offensive capabilities. So I have to say that this set, or these two sets, the Saracen Armor and the Lynx Armor, basically outdates the Scout Armor when it comes to spy offense and spy defense respectively. So you may need to consider the possibility of creating these two sets with the garnet gems attached when you are contemplating spy offenses and spy defenses, and this rule basically applies to other type of troops as well, because if these sets are superior to the spy specific set, then chances are they are specific to the troop specific sets, such as the serpent set for the range troops, or the gascon set, or the set that's specific for melee troops. So you might be forced to make two sets of these armors, one with garnet gems attached for spy related stuff, and another set with the gems specific to your other troops. So thank you for watching this video. Leave a like and comment if you would like to see other videos and on what kind of topic that you would like to discuss. I'll see you again in the next video. Thank you.